I think everybody wants to be a better leader once you understand who a leader is. And remember, the definition for lead is bringing someone along as someone who's been there before, been there, done that, helping others achieve their potential. And you can do that regardless of your age, your experience, your gender, your education, your experience. You can do that regardless of where you are currently in your life for others. But what kind of a leader are you? This is something that I took a reflection back on, and I identified about 7 different types of leaders based on where you are in your professional and personal journey. I looked back at my own life and reflected on that too. And while this isn't an exhaustive list, it's really a good question to ask yourself. What kind of a leader am I? I mean, if the ultimate goal is to be a heroic leader, someone who's making a difference in the world around them, or at the very least, an engaged leader who's conscious about their role, they're intentionally choosing to be a leader in others' lives, well, that certainly would be the best 2 types. But then there are other types that you might not be aware of. For instance, we've been around people like this, unfortunately. There are toxic leaders, ones who lead in a way that's negative. They influence and they impact others, but in a negative way, not in a positive way. We certainly don't want to be that. Well, that's on the other end of the scale. That's on the least desired form. But then there are leaders who are unaware. Now, this isn't negative or positive. They're just not aware that they are or can be a leader. They're just unaware. There might be some who are disengaged, meaning that they're in a role of leadership, a traditional role of leadership, but they're not engaging with their people. It's kind of the idea of a tour guide versus a travel agent. A tour guide goes with you on the trip. A travel agent, and I have nothing against travel agents, I have friends who are, but for illustration purposes, a tour guide goes with you. A travel guide books the trip and says, hey, let me know how it goes. That's a disengaged form of leadership. And then there are some that are underqualified, under-equipped. They want to be, they're in a role, but they don't necessarily have all the tools around them to be as effective leader as possible. That's simply under-equipped, and that can be addressed. Then there are some that are not secure in it. They don't feel confident in it. They know they should be, and they're enthusiastic about it. Those are the ones who are coachable, teachable, give us the tools, and we'll run with it. These are usually people who are very popular, who are typically well-trusted, but not necessarily have all the tools. So those are several types of leaders, and if you want more details, you can find it, I lay this out specifically in my new book, Heroic Leadership. Anyone can be a courageous leader. It's available on Amazon, all 4 types, paperback, hardback, a Kindle version, and Audible version that I narrated. So if you want to learn more about what type of leader you might be, you can listen to that on Audible. You can read it. You can get a copy sent to you, or you can do an ebook version, whichever you prefer. But it's good to know, what kind of a leader am I? If my goal is to be a heroic leader, someone who makes a difference in the world around them, then how can I progress? How can I grow? How can I become that? But it's good to know, where do I stand right now? Clearly, if you're following this content and it's engaging with you, you're not a toxic leader. Because my experience has been that toxic leaders aren't even aware that they are and don't really care to change. That's not you. So where on that spectrum do you stand right now? Do you feel like you could get better equipped? Do you feel like, I didn't even know I was a leader? Do you feel like, I am excited to be one, give me the tools to do it? Wherever you are on that scale of leadership, I've got insights that can help you grow and progress. You can become even more of an engaged leader, or even better, you can become a heroic leader. Join me on this journey, and I'll keep sharing tips and advice on how to achieve this, because I believe anyone can be a courageous leader, and that's heroic leadership.